Dringwinzi Shalaknai. I am happy today to present our second Appropriation Act for the year 2020-2021. I will begin by reading out a briefing note for a full update of the information we will be providing with you today, as well as going on to read our second Appropriation Act verbatim. So the briefing note for the second Appropriation Act of the Vantakwichin government prepared by the Department of Finance. The issue at hand is the Vantakwichin government is establishing a fully operational intergovernmental relations and governance branch as part of the Chief and Council Department. This requires an increase in the annual appropriation authorizing expenditures based on the budget submitted by the Director of Finance. Council needs to approve the Second Appropriation Act to approve the additional expenditures, which has been done. The background on this issue is the intergovernmental branch has operated under the Executive Director with one position, our Communications and Policy. The branch, as per the attached budget, is to have a Director, Manager, formally the Communications and Policy position, and second Manager Analyst position, functions to be determined. The annual budget for 2020-2021 can be summarized as follows. One-time projects, data project measuring socio-economic outcomes of $50,000. Communication strategy, $168,777. Our governance projects, $200,000. This one-time projects is a total of $418,777. The ongoing is the administration, which is the director, manager, and analyst, for a total of $478,000. Project management assistance to departments, $60,000. Policy and legislation development, $211,900. Program and service transfer agreements, $23,823. Administration of justice is $60,000. Federal collaborative fiscal policy, $200,000. Tax resource revenue sharing, $10,000. Financial transfer agreement negotiations, $50,000. Implementation, $100,000, for a total of $1,193,723. Total expenditures 2020 to 2021, $1,612,500. Funding for the one-time projects will be coming from the 189.2 Collaborative Fiscal Policy Reserve, where $418,777 was set aside for governance projects and the data project. For the 2020 to 2021 year funding for the ongoing will come from the accumulated surplus of prior years. The FTA, or the Federal Transfer Agreement, has ongoing funding for intergovernmental relations and governance of $939,410 versus the budgeted 2020 to 2021 amount of $1,193,723. The difference can be funded with $254,313 can be managed from unexpended FTA governance funding from other program areas on an ongoing basis. Council will review and, if agreed with the branch, budgets approved the attached Appropriation Act. Before I begin reading, I would just like to say that this has always been a part of the future of our government. This department has been contemplated in the early days of our governance, and we are happy today to finally bring this vision of our leaders and our governance to the forefront of our governmental endeavors to this day. This is a great achievement and one that we are proud to announce for our government and people. Notice to the Vantakwichin First Nation citizens. Please find attached a copy of the Second Appropriation Act 2020 to 2021 and accompanying notes. Citizens are encouraged to submit written questions, suggestions, or comments regarding the Act to the attention of Kathy Charlie at the VGFN Executive Office, extension 229, email ea@vgfn.net, or drop off at the main office reception area. Please include your name and contact information. The first reading of the Second Appropriation Act will take place currently. Thank you very much. The Vuntagwitchin First Nation Second Appropriation Act 2020 to 2021. Whereas it appears by the budget estimate submitted by the Director of Finance that in addition to the sums previously appropriated, the sums mentioned in Schedule A of this Act are required for the purpose of defraying certain expenses of the public service of the Vuntagwitchin First Nation and for related purposes for the period of 12 months ending March 31st, 2021. The Chief and Council of the Vuntagwitchin First Nation enacts as follows. 1. In addition to the net sum of $29,318,783 provided for in the first Appropriation Act from and out of the Vuntagwitchin First Nation bank accounts, there may be paid and applied a sum not exceeding in the whole of $1,390,777 for defraying the several charges and expenses of the public service of the Vuntagwitchin First Nation in the period of 12 months ending on March 31st, 2021, as set forth in Schedule A of this Act, which includes all sums previously appropriated for any part of the same period, and that sum shall not be paid or applied except in accordance with the budget estimates submitted by the Director of Finance to Chief and Council. Vuntagwitchin First Nation Second Appropriation Act 2020 to 2021, Schedule A. Departmental Operations and Maintenance and Capital Expenditures. Chief and Council. Amount to date, $1,975,291. Sums required this appropriation of $1,390,777. Current spending authority at $3,366,068. Executive Office. Amount to date, $1,501,482. Current spending authority, $1,501,482. Human Resources, $642,831, with the current spending authority of the same amount. Natural Resources, $2,461,834, with the spending authority currently of the same amount. Government Services, the amount to date of $7,802,699, with a current spending authority of the same amount. Education and Recreation, amount to date $1,917,210, with a current spending authority of the same amount. Health, Social, and Justice, amount to date $2,210,450, with the current spending authority of the same amount. Information Systems, $506,732 as the amount to date, with a current spending authority of the same amount. Finance and Debt Management, amount to date, $1,846,254, with a current spending authority of the same amount. Other capital projects, amount to date at $8,454,000, with the current spending authority of the same, for a total amount to date of $29,318,783. Sums required this appropriation totaling at $1,390,777, with a current spending authority of $30,709,560. The Vuntagwitchin Government 2020 to 2021 fiscal year sources of revenue are guaranteed sources: the financial transfer agreement of $14,450,313, personal income tax at $814,535, First Nations goods and services tax totaling at $198,825. The gas tax fund is blank. The Vuntagwitchin Trust Disbursement Fund totaling at $2,475,634, with a bank loan amount of blank, totaling for $17,939,307. Other sources brought forward from 2019 to the 2020 year, amount totaling at $73,232. Contribution agreements and grants totaling at $10,998,898. Recoveries from rent and water and sewer totaling at $307,346, for a complete total of $11,379,476. The total revenue equaling $29,318,783. From the accumulated surplus, $1,390,777. Total source of funds equal $30,709,560. As a note, our Federal Transfer Agreement, or the FTA, accounts for 49.3% of the entire budget. The Vuntagwitchin Government 2020 to 2021 fiscal year, Chief and Counsel. The revenues for the 2020 to 2021 budget First Appropriation Act totaling at $316,400, with a 2020-2021 budget Second Appropriation at $316,400. Expenditures: office furniture, equipment, at the budget for the First Appropriation at $2,000, with an increase of $15,000 for the Second Appropriation total at $17,000. The communications, telephone, fax, internet, advertising, and printing for the First Appropriation Act at $22,240, with an increase of $4,500 for the Second Appropriation totaling at $26,740. Consulting and legal services seen an increase in $912,777 for the Second Appropriation totals of the same amount of $912,777. Our community consultations are at zero amount, community celebrations at zero amount. Office rental, utilities, insurance, and property taxes for the budget First Appropriation at $32,200. There is an increase of $27,500 for the Second Appropriation total of $59,700. Office supplies, materials, and supplies for the First Appropriation at $23,000, with an increase of $26,617 for the Second Appropriation total of $49,617. Salaries and benefits, honorarium, and professional development for the First Appropriation at $1,012,966, with an increase of $387,076 for the Second Appropriation budget total of $1,400,000.42. The donations, contribution agreements, grants, and elders' pensions for the first appropriation of $792,495, with the second appropriation at the same amount as there is no increase. Funeral expenses, a total of $18,000 with no increase, leaves the same amount in the second appropriation. Our travel costs for the first appropriation are at $72,390 for the first appropriation, with an increase of $17,307 to total for the second appropriation at $89,697, for a total of the first appropriation at $1,975,291, an increase of $1,390,777, for a total in the second appropriation at $3,366,068. The allocation from the Consolidated Fund for the first Appropriation Act in parentheses of $1,658,891, with an increase of $1,390,777, for a total in the second appropriation in parentheses of $3,049,668. We are happy to bring you this reading and this briefing regarding the Second Appropriation Act for the Vuntut-Gwitchin government in good governance of our First Nation. And with this reading, we see the inception of a new branch in the executive form of our governance. This will go a long way in fomenting many of our governmental processes internally in the organization, as well as the assurity and securing of our future strategies in all of our intergovernmental relations. Beyond this reading today, we have new forms of collaboration within our executive branches of our government that will surely bring life to the implementation plan, as well as the governmental considerations among our staff, among our executive branch, our leadership, with the inclusion of our people. Today is the marking of a new chapter in our histories. Please continue to attend our meetings, bring your comments into the government, your submissions to our executive assistant as we move into these new avenues of governance. Masicho.